My name is Faruk. I am the Chief Revenue Officer at RevPanda. I'm super excited to be your host for today's session. As we all know, Euro 2024 is just around the corner, and this tournament is not only a major event in the world of sports, but it also represents an incredible opportunity for iGaming brands and affiliates. They can boost their visibility, engage new players, and drive significant growth during this time. Today, we are here to help you get ahead of the game with some strategies that we will suggest before the tournament, during the tournament, and after this spectacular event. We have an exciting agenda lined up today, and before moving forward, I would like to welcome RevFunda's two top C-level executives with years of iGaming experience, Glenn Debattista, our Chief Operating Officer, and Senior Txema Hermoso, our Chief Growth Officer. Gentlemen, please take a minute to introduce yourselves.
Yes, thanks a lot for the introduction, Faruk. First of all, I like to say that's really exciting to be able to talk about this topic with Txema. Txema and I, discuss this topic off work, and we're always talking about football and our favorite football teams and so on and so forth. So for us to talk about it during work, actually, it's actually quite exciting. Anyway, a bit of intro about myself. I've been in this industry now for 19 years. Out of these 19 years, I spent 15 years with operators and 4 years with affiliates and service providers. This means I've seen such events as big events as the Euros and the World Cup and other big international events from all different angles, all different sides. So that helped me during my career to understand better both from a operator side, but also from a user point of view.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Txema, your turn.
Yeah, so I mean, what can I say? I'm a sports passionate. I've been working in the industry for almost 10 years. I started from customer service, doing some sports betting assistance for customers. And since then, well, similar to Glenn, I've been working with affiliates, working with operators. And well, what I do at Red Panda, basically, it's identifying low-hanging fruits and strategies for growth for any of our clients. It could be on their traffic, on their conversion rate, or any kind of optimization that can increase the return on investment for any client. And as Glenn says, we are always on our chit chats, coffee chats, talking about football, talking about the Euros, and even we have like a personal competition which we bet against each other. So it's truly fantastic experience sharing our knowledge here with everyone and all our customers and viewers.
Absolutely. Guys, as you say, for the ideal job or dream job, people say that find what you love and get paid for it. So this is probably one of these great examples in life. Amazing. Thank you for the introduction. Today, one of our lucky viewers will win a free SEO audit, and we will be basically running a draw from the attendee list and then let you know the winner at the end of the session. So make sure that you stay with us. For those that we just have our paths crossed today, I would like to maybe give a very short intro about RevPanda. We are a marketing agency and we offer a variety of services, starting from SEO services, as Txema mentioned earlier. So this is the backbone of our services. In line with that, we offer iGaming content or translation services as well, including localizations in more than 70 different languages. Obviously, we have got iGaming savvy web design and development teams. They will be able to provide you impressive websites and also technical SEO friendly websites. We do have link building team that can help you to get high authority, high traffic backlinks to support your off-page SEO profile. And also we have got other services such as payment method testing and blog monitor. We launched our Repanda platform to offer some of these services, so you can just go ahead and have a look at the Repanda platform to check some of the services that we discussed through app.repanda.com. Before we get started, I would like to maybe give some kind of a housekeeping here, and then we will take it from there. I would expect today's session to be around like 40 minutes, and it will be some kind of a fireside chat. We gather some questions from our social media, and also during the conversation, you will be able to write us your questions, and we can also get the questions and answer them at the very end, and we'll make everybody have their knowledge from the conversation today. So let's get started. Glenn, let's start with understanding the unique opportunities of Euro 2024. I wanted to ask you why Euro 2024 is very important for the iGaming industry.
Right. So the Euros. The Euros obviously is one of the main football tournaments, international tournaments, because it always attracts a large audience of sport fans and bettors, including casual fans, right, who usually would not follow football as much or even place a bet under general terms. But this obviously leads to increased betting activity and provides opportunities for these iGaming operators to acquire these new users or engage with existing ones, and obviously generate higher revenue in a usually quiet period of the year, because usually summer period is very quiet for sportsbooks. Now, what makes this Euro even more attractive than it actually is that it is taking place at the same time with the Copa America. And this is something that doesn't happen very often, right? So this means that there are more matches to bet on for the punters, but also more opportunities for the operators to promote and spread their risk on. Because as also Txema can confirm, whenever there are two major tournaments at the same time, then it's really big time for the operators there.
Absolutely, Glenn.
Fantastic.
It's an opportunity to bet during the night and during the day.
Exactly, Txema, very good point. Txema, let's move forward with your expertise a little bit. You're developing and executing SEO strategies for iGaming websites on a daily basis. And I was wondering, as a marketer, can you tell us about the iGaming consumer behavior, considering mass sports events like Euro 2024?
Well, I believe that people at the moment, they are already very, very excited about the Euro 24, because the regular football season, it's finishing next week, next Saturday, with the Champions League final. And all these summer competitions like the Euros, like the Copa America Glenn mentioned, the World Cup, they serve to fill in that off-season football emptiness for football maniacs, in which I include myself. And also, I think there's a component in humanity. Like, we are always seeking to find something to get a bit obsessed. I mean, it happens to me on Halloween period. Everybody wants to decorate. Everybody wants to, and we spend more than a month preparing for that. Same happens with Christmas, and we're always searching for a special occasion in which we can get fully inside an event and truly enjoy it. And I think this summer is the Euro 2024.
Exactly. Glenn, do you have anything to add for this one?
No, absolutely agree with that, Txema. Like you said, we need to fill up the void, right, in summer, especially for us football fans who feel the void when there is no major tournament during summer. There's like 2 months of basically nothing. We're dreading and we're looking forward for the new season to come.
Right. Glenn, based on your years of experience in the field, I was wondering, how does Euro 2024 impact the marketing plans and strategies of iGaming websites? Maybe you can touch base on both the brand or affiliates, if you like.
Sure. So obviously, iGaming websites need to tailor their marketing campaigns to capitalize on this heightened interest in football, which we just mentioned with Txema. This includes by offering, special promotions, bonuses, and creating content that resonates with fans for the operator side. Whereas for the affiliate side, they need to focus more on the informative content that will drive traffic to their websites. Why? Because that's obviously what people are actually searching for. With regards to operators, let's look at it from the higher level. Ultimately, their biggest marketing tool are the odds themselves, Why? Because casual fans, okay, they might not actually care much about the odds, as they do it just for the fun of it and to support their national team, and so on and so forth. However, actual punters who are after value will be on the lookout for those offering the highest odds and most markets and the better promotions, because that is what, for them, is the main marketing tool for operators.
Absolutely, Glenn. Let's add a bit more on this strategy part, and I want to ask you a follow-up question on that, because you touch base on the content. What types of content resonates the most with bettors during major football tournaments like Euro 2024?
Yes. So there are different types of contents that, for example, affiliates can go after. But personally, I believe that there are four types of content which are must-have. So what the first one, match previews and analysis, right? These are detailed insights and predictions about the upcoming matches, which punters are and even casual bettors are looking for in order to understand how they want to bet. Then there are the actual betting tips and strategies, and these are the expert advice on the betting options and strategies that the punter should go after. Then there's which I something that I really feel that can improve also from in the iGaming industry is the interactive content. Um, like on social media, people love to engage. So having polls, quizzes, and interactive games related to the actual tournament are a big plus. And then obviously, if we look at it also from a social media engagement, yes, having posts, hashtags, live discussions, maybe like what we're doing right now here, right? These are all things that really help. So for me, these are the four pillars. Obviously, there are more things, but these are the four pillars of content.
Thank you, Glenn. Maybe we can just move a little bit more the uh, digital part and discuss how this Euro tournament is actually setting itself apart from the previous ones. Txema, my question will be for you. As you know, since the last Euro tournament, a lot has changed in our lives. For instance, consumer behavior, as you mentioned earlier, it is different than the pandemic times. And there are technological advancements that we are witnessing every day, and people are really into the digital world right now. According to your own view, what makes Euro 2024 special? What is new here?
Well, I mean, personally, it has been quite of a challenge because since the previous event a few years ago, there has been a lot of quite big changes. I mean, the main one we've all seen in the last year in 2023, the rise of AI. Everybody's going crazy with ChatGPT, and while I think that this was like the latest trend in 2023, I like thinking that in 2024, this is no longer a trend. This is just a tool that we need to incorporate into our our daily standards to analyze data. Um, uh, it allows us to make what I call the hyper personalization. So, for example, the AI allows us to process and analyze huge amount of data from all our users, and with that data, we can create personalized experience to each of the users and ensure we can maximize the customer engagement. This is going to be crucial not only for the period of the Euros, but as Glenn mentioned before, there will be a wide array of new customers that they will be betting on the Euros that they were not frequent bettors. And after the Euros have finished, it's crucial to analyze all this data. And through AI, I think we can improve retention and reactivation once that the event has concluded. Another of the factors I think it's quite important. It's social media marketing. Now we know by fact that social media has been here for many years. I mean, we all have a Facebook account since 10 years or more. But I believe that social media are changing somehow. Nowadays, we have new social media like Reddit, YouTube, TikTok, and users are normally using these search engines, these tools, these social media search engines, and there is a small percentage within the new generation that they're already parking Google as a search engine and using the social media. This means that the social media marketing is acquiring much more and more importance year over year. And there will be a very, very big impact on the audience through this social media marketing. Now, from an SEO point of view, since I'm a big SEO fan and it's one of my passions, there are a couple of new things that happened in the last years. One of them is the EAT, because Google introduced 4 years ago the concept of EAT, only with one E, and gradually has been implementing new elements into their algorithm, which makes the EAT more important, not only for rankings, because obviously rankings are going to be affected for web and are going to be websites employing a positive EAT. They're going to be rising up on their performance on the search engine results page. But I think there's also a component for users, because, for example, if I am a bettor and I read 2-3 betting tips about the same match, I'm getting used to already seeing at the top the author, seeing a link to their Twitter or a link to their Instagram. And I believe users will go clicking into those social media, will go clicking into that information about the author to try to get more information if their betting tips are correct, if there is a history of success from this author. So I believe EAT overall is changing the repercussions on search engines, but not only that, because I think there is a component that affects user experience and user interaction. And the last thing I would like to appoint is the semantic SEO approach. A few years ago, SEOs, we used to employ what we call skyscraper technique. We saw a page ranking on Google with 5,000 words, and we create another one with 6,000. And then someone will create another one with 7,000, and someone will create another one with 8,000. And like that, we used to obtain success on Google. But nowadays, the approach of Google is very different. Nowadays, we built a common page, let's say, talking about the Euro 2024, but Google is rewarding not only that page, which is extraordinarily long, it's rewarding smaller pages, which are children pages of this main topic. And the more different topics, the more different aspects you cover about the Euro, if you're talking about who's going to be the winner, which are going to be the underdogs, which are going to be the top scorers, the best goalkeeper, the best midfielder, it will show to Google that you have an expertise about the topic, that you are covering actually all the possible queries that any user may ask to themselves. And like that is going to give big rewards. And this means quite a big change, because big old whales that have been successful in the betting industry many years ago, now they will start seeing how their old strategies go down. And newer websites, they have a huge potential if they employ the semantic SEO approach.
Txema, thank you. I was wondering who would be the first to use the word AI, and congratulations. In today's session, you got it. I know, Glenn, you're also a big fan of AI, and you're following the developments. I was wondering if you have anything else to add to what Txema said.
Yes, in fact, what Txema mentioned there about AI being used to analyze the data from the users that will be betting on the Euros is actually something that interests me, because obviously this is the first major tournament that AI is actually on everyone's everyone talking about it. So I'm curious to see what the results, what the analysis, what the reports will be about this. So whatever comes out, will be really interesting for future upcoming major events.
Absolutely. And I also, yeah. Go ahead.
If you recall, Glenn, a few years ago, we were relying on an octopus, getting the results, and now it will be ChatGPT, which obviously does everything with much more accurate stats and balance of everything. It's quite funny.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I was just about to touch base on what you said, Txema. I am so curious what all these new computing power, it's like developing rapidly right now. It is getting cheaper and it's more accessible by all operators. And I'm really excited to see all the stats, all the trackings, and understanding the consumer behavior coming from the new AI tools that we have got, and also the new, let's say, technologies that companies are using. And then I can say that we can predict that the next tournament will have much more data, and many strategies that we are right now putting into effort may not exist, as you just said a minute ago, in the next tournament. So that is really exciting news, and I'm very lucky that we are witnessing such times like this here in our lifetime. Amazing, gentlemen. Let's move forward maybe with Glenn this time. And I wanted to ask you, Glenn, as you know, while football players are having a fierce competition on the pitch, iGaming operators will try their best to attract new bettors. So there will be another competition over there. And I would like to ask you what promotions or bonuses are most appealing to bettors during major events like Euro 2024?
Absolutely, and this actually can be attached with what Chema was saying about the AI data, because obviously, operators what they will be doing now is basically, they will be offering a lot of kind of promotions and bonuses, and they will be able to analyze with AI what works, what doesn't work, and reuse it for the upcoming events, basically. So, from my point of view, obviously, promotions and bonuses that are appealing, there are four kinds. There's obviously the welcome bonuses. These are one of the most popular ones. They're attractive bonuses for new users, and these are exactly target new users. So anyone, these casual punters who might, like we said before, just only want to bet on this for the first time ever. They might find it interesting. They might be able to retain them with these welcome bonuses and make them come back to play for more. This is obviously done with their first deposit. Then there's the free bets. Free bets. Who doesn't like a free bet? Chema. We all love putting a bet, knowing that we're not gonna lose, anything. Just we have a free bet there, place it on our favorite team or on a special outcome, and then see how it goes. Um, Everyone is a winner, so you don't get to lose anything there. Now, deposit bonuses. That's another one that is really popular, especially with those who they might not be the casual fans, because usually deposit bonuses, they match your user deposit, and casual punters, they might, put in deposit a low amount. Whereas the usual punters, the ones that bet quite often, obviously they might be used to depositing higher amounts. So this is ideal for those kind of existing punters. Then my favorite one, leaderboard challenges. These are basically a gamification of the competition, where bettors need to bet. They can win prizes based on their betting activities. Having like specific polls or having specific games between themselves, to see who manages to score the highest points. Something like similar to the fantasy football that maybe even Chema plays on. So yes, these are very popular, and they add more excitement to the actual games.
Absolutely. Talking about the promotions, I actually would like to go a bit more into details, and I want to ask Chema. Chema, you led many brands through, their marketing during such big sports events in the past, and this is actually a part of your, daily work, and it's passion for you in life. That's something that I really know. Can you share with us some of the proven strategies to attract and engage bettors?
Yeah.
You're muted, Chema.
Yeah, in the past, there have been many successful strategies. Some of them, I think, they're still quite valid, but some of them, for example, the standard promotion channels like television, radio, putting billboards or signs on the bus stop, uh, depends on the geography or the market target market. But normally, for example, here in Spain, everything is forbidden now. Something that 10 years ago was happening very frequently, watching betting websites advertise on the television. Now it's forbidden, and I guess this is quite of a trend that it's growing and growing, and it will continue affecting, which means that we need to find other different strategies, other strategies that have been quite quite successful in the past, as Glenn was mentioning. Welcome promotions, try to generate engagement through long, like competition promotions, those kind of leaderboard challenges, etc. I think that within the last years, one of the latest updates of the industry was to focus strictly on mobile, because we know that nowadays mobile is another tool. We don't think that that is like a new trend, but people, when these events happen, they gather with their friends, they gather with their family to watch the matches. And normally, if you're going to bet, you normally bet from a bar or from a friend's house. So ensuring that the betting apps were successfully operative on mobile was quite of an important strategy that I think nowadays it's crucial, and probably it's happening on most of the operators. Some other key important strategies was offering live matches, or if not live matches, at least the results or push notifications. Why? Because if you think about it, we'll have matches on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sometimes at 2, at 4 in the afternoon, when people is normally at the office or they are driving, or so it's a time that is normally is not like the Champions League that you always watch late at night on your sofa with a pizza. And this means that a lot of people wants to keep engaged, but they are not allowed because they cannot put their full attention. So giving coverage through live stream, if you want to watch it on the mobile, or just receiving push notifications of a result of a match that you betted, was quite a successful strategy, and I think it will keep growing and growing its importance. Something crucial, it's always working on the best odds, especially if you have a particular market you want to target, like corner betting or handicap betting, and you offer really best odds than your competitors, you may get engagement. You may get a number of clients that they are particularly checking for that specific market, and then they will play on other markets also on the same operator, but you won the client because of offering particular best odds on a specific market. And last thing, I think the most important is the fan engagement. We know that the people watching the Euros, they always support a particular team or a particular player, like people supporting Cristiano Ronaldo, or and to try to generate this engagement with the fans who are supporting a country, an athlete, or a concrete team, it's quite important. And overall, I think gambling companies should be aware of their customers and generate options which help them build such engagement.
Thank you, Txema. Obviously, reaching out to new audiences and having users, new users especially, are strong goals for most of the operators during this kind of times. But I remember, Glenn, you were mentioning in the past in our conversation that yes, it is important to get new users, but it is even more important to retain these newly gained users. And I was wondering about your thoughts. How can operators improve their user retention during and after Euro 2024?
Yes, absolutely. You can imagine to retain these new users is definitely no easy feat. A lot of them would be really casual fans who just wanted to place a bet just for the fun of it, or just to show support for their favorite national team. That's it. And that's their main aim. They just want to do it. And then after the whole competition is over, probably they wouldn't even be following, the domestic leagues or whatever. However, there are ways the operators can try to entice some of these users, at least, to come back and improve their user retention. And for me, the most important one is basically giving them the best possible user experience, enhancing this user experience by improving the platform, making it sure that it's a user-friendly one with obviously quick loading times, easy navigation, customized, tailor-made for for their selections, to make them feel like they're at home, something like they want to go back to. Then obviously there are the loyalty programs, right? These reward regular users, with bonuses, free bets, exclusive offers, and so on and so forth. And these are important, just like any, like commercial sites, the more you spend, the more you go on a website, the more you engage, the more you're gonna be wanting to go back. So you want, the users back by offering these programs, these loyalty programs. I think the third main part, obviously, then it's the post-tournament engagement itself. Why? Because continue, engagement with the users is extremely relevant. I mean, if someone, you just finished there, you finish your journey at the Euros, and then you don't hear anything back from the actual operators on, possibilities for you, what you want to do, and so on and so forth. Obviously, they're not going to be returning. So you need to send users relevant content, offers, promote also maybe other sports or events that might, gain their interest. Because obviously, that's because they bet on football doesn't mean that they like only football. They can actually bet on on shows, TV shows, TV programs, like Big Brother and these things. So if it's their thing, they can go for that and find the right betting opportunities for them. So as post-tournament engagement is extremely important.
Over here, I actually have a follow-up question regarding attracting new players, and I would like to ask Txema. Txema, what do you think? How can advanced technologies that you mentioned earlier can affect the tournament, and how can, let's say, iGaming brands utilize these type of advanced technologies in sports marketing to achieve their goals?
Well, I mean, there are several new technologies coming up. There's the virtual sports industry, which is growing and growing, and we already spoke that the people is really deep. Is going to go really deep into the Euros, and they want to live football every time. But there will be times where there is no football matches, and I believe, because I already experienced this when I was working for an operator, that there's people who want to bet on football even though there's not a match, and they will go on virtual sports. Also, I think that the growth of esports, we know that FIFA is already creating new tournaments, etc. So I think that esports will have also a substantial growth due to the Euro. And one of the most important things, I think, is the gamification, to turn everything into a game, as Glenn was mentioning, building leaderboards, giving the opportunity to a bunch of colleagues to do like their fantasy league, etc. Building, themed games and slots that can help users keep engaged with the Euro and keep focused with their national team, with Euro elements, with football players, and all those sources of entertainment. They can bring revenue to the gambling industry.
Exactly. And I want to turn back to Glenn, and I want to ask you about the customer support, because during these times, especially such big events, Glenn, like Euro 2024, the brands will have even much more uh, calls from the customers, or they will be reaching out to the brand for certain reasons. So the importance of customer support is crucial. So I was wondering what you think about that, like how brands can fix that part.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that I remember from my experience from operators, the most sought after questions by customers to the customer support service are basically related to the promotions and offers that are being offered for those tournaments. Because since they're specific for the tournament, sometimes they have, take it. They don't maybe understand straight away, what needs, what constitutes that offer, how how they can help them, and so on and so forth. What I've been seeing as a trend lately as well, obviously, a lot of websites, they use these FAQs things through the AI system. So they try to avoid, the customer support. It's more like a second line right after the first line of the AI part. So what I'm seeing is more, as like Chema said, AI being active, proactive in this section, in this department, and obviously, this helps a lot for for thinning down, for filtering, questions and wasting sort of times of customer support agencies. Some operators also like to rely on third-party services. There are companies who offer these customer support agencies as well. Obviously, these are very effective, and but obviously, you need to take everything in consideration, because obviously, since they don't work with you, you need to sort of coach them in the right methodology that you're offering for your own operator.
Exactly, and I believe that operators should really consider this as a part of their new user retention during the 2024 and after the tournament. So as we approach to the end of our webinar, slowly, I would like to ask both of you actually, since you guys are industry veterans, I was wondering what are your predictions for the iGaming industry's performance during this tournament?
Oh, definitely. Like we mentioned quite a few times before, there's going to be an increased betting volume and higher revenue. We expect this, like we said, the fact that Copa America will play at the same time, this will definitely boost it further, because people have more options to bet on, so there are more chances for them. Once the thing is that many people, the way they play long lists. If one match fails, then they have to redo it, a new long list with different matches. So the opportunity of having even more games to bet on is a really significant thing. In fact, the rise in betting activity and user engagement will definitely be much higher now due this year than I think it ever been for previous international matches. Now, apart from that, this is something also Chema mentioned. There's going to be the technological advancements. Yes, I think there's going to be greater use of real-time data as well. I think AI will help there, and obviously personalized marketing. So operators will be able to tailor make your journey into an extremely really good one. In the end of the day, technology keeps getting better and better. When I think about how we were like 20 years ago, from the operator side, would be like in the trading department, 50 people manually entering all the data, updating the data, inserting results. It was quite a hectic period. When you look at it right now, everything is in real time. It's so much easy, and definitely, I believe it can still even be improved in years to come. I also believe, like we said before, for operators to be able to retain users, they need to enhance the user experience. So I'm expecting operators to do that. They need to focus, obviously, like we said, on improving platform performance and the user interface to be handle the increased traffic. And finally, the expansion of the market reach, attracting a broader audience. Obviously, is always the main target of these operators, and including, like we said, casual bettors and international users. Because the Euros, this is what it is. The Euros has the advantage that, since a lot of players, footballers from different nationalities, from different continents play in European leagues, therefore it increases the interest of these other continents in the actual Euro. For example, maybe Copa America, for us, it's not as big as the Euros, because most people, would follow Argentina or Brazil, but not much the other countries. But they hardly have also European players playing in the Copa America, so there isn't that much affinity with it. Whereas with the Euros, lots of players from South America, from Africa, from Australia, they play on all these leagues. So obviously, there's a bigger heightened interest.
Yeah, I agree with Glenn in this point. I'm quite a fan of geo-targeting markets and geo-targeted SEO, and particularly I think that the big thing about this Euro is going to be the engagement not only from European countries, which is quite frequent, especially participating countries. Probably Sweden or Norway will lose a bit of traction because this year they've not been qualified. But I think that the big change is going to be the African market. I think it's going to be there's going to be a record interaction from that market for several reasons. First of all, is that football is the most followed sport in Africa, and the fact that in the last World Cup, an African team like it was Morocco reached for the first time semifinals just reinforces such strength. And we know that the African betting market has been growing massively within the last years. In fact, most of the European gambling giants are opening more and more franchises within the African market. So, and they're investing more and more money there. The fact that the African countries share the same time as Europe, it's quite another factor, because while they will be programming the matches to be kind of prime time within European hours, and that could generate difficulties on Asian markets, even in American markets. But Africa has the same time frame as Europe, so that will help also boost that market. There are no side competitions, as we know. The African Cup happened already this winter. The English Premier League has already finished. So the Africans who normally follow with passion the Premier League, they will feel again this emptiness, football emptiness we spoke before, and they will go like crazy checking the Euros and checking, as Glenn mentioned, the players that they see on a weekly basis on the Premier League that they follow. And also, I think that there is another important component, which is the language connection. We know that many African countries have an historic past with Europe. Nations like Ivory Coast or Cameroon or Democratic Republic of Congo, they speak on a regular basis French, and that probably will make them connect with the French team and probably supporting them. There are other countries like Nigeria or South Africa that probably will support the English, but just because they share a common language. And same would happen with Portuguese-speaking countries like Mozambique or Angola. On the other hand, I expect quite a mid-level of participation from the Latin countries. As Glenn mentioned, they will be having their Copa America, which is their version of the Euros. So probably that will take a portion of the market. But on the other hand, they will be anxious to consume football. And, if there is no football early in the morning, but they can watch a Euro 24 match, probably they will be there. And probably they will play some bets, because the atmosphere in Latin America, it's also going to be same as in Europe. Everybody thinking about football. We know that in Latin America, they are all football passionate. Countries like Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, they wake up thinking about football and they go to bed thinking about football. They breathe about football. And the fact that the matches will be happening in the morning, I think it may not have the same traction as if they were on their prime time, but still will generate some engagement and betting opportunities. With regards to other markets like North America, for example, well, I think that just still not football, or how they call it, soccer, is still not there, despite the success on women's football a few years ago. It's still a small market for they normally follow the ice hockey or baseball, basketball, of course, American football. And with regards to Asia, I think that it's an interesting market. There will be some traction of Asia, but on the other hand, the timing, I think it's quite inconvenient, because the best matches, which will happen here at 8 or 9 in the evening, it will be already very late there. So I expect low engagement from those continents, but quite a reasonable success from South America and especially the African market. I think it's going to be the gem for this Euro 2024.
Yes, Txema, I think it is marketers' job to engage with the users or the fans, let's say, during these times, given the conditions and the timing. So that is something that is a part of our daily routine. And I hope that everyone here watching this webinar will be able to adjust all the timings. And actually, we prepared with our marketing department and the gentleman here a checklist for Euro 2024. So as you can see on my screen, we have got different parts for different types of marketing, and we have got also the tips for you. So we will be adding this to the description, and also we'll be sending this over as an email to our viewers so that you can have a look and apply some of the key inputs here to your marketing strategy. All right, so here's my final question, gentlemen. Who's going to win the Euro 2024?
Well, going into the competition, bookies are already making England and France as the main favorites, right? With England maybe being slight favorites there. However, looking at the possible outcomes, I was in fact, testing it out, different combinations. I saw that if both England and France finish top of their group, they will be facing each other in the semifinals. So only one of them will probably make it to the final. The other possible finalist could be probably Germany or maybe even Spain there for Txema. In my opinion, since Malta will not be taking part, I think England are the better team, but they have a tendency to screw up when being favorites. So my prediction is France to win it. However, never rule out the German side, especially because since they are the host nation, and also don't forget Italy, who always seem to perform best when they are not favorites.
All right. Yeah, I I kind of agree with Glenn. I would say that counting that Germany, that France and England, they are both the clear favorites. I would say that, in my opinion, France is slightly one step ahead. Just my gut, and obviously they all have a good number of stars, mix of talented, experienced players with promising youth. I mean, Harry Kane, Will Foden, Griezmann, Mbappe. But my personal bet would be on Germany because, first of all, it's not the favorite, so the odds are going to be higher. At the moment, Germany is like third on the odds. However, for me, the playing at home factor is quite crucial, and I also think that they combine experienced players who probably will be playing their last Euro, like Toni Kroos, Manuel Neuer, and they have a new generation who has already reached their maturity. We have Gnabry, Kimmich. So my bet would be on Germany to win. Spain and Portugal, who, according to the odds, they are like fourth, fifth position. I think they have it complicated because their stars are really reaching the end of their career. And the youths that should have risen in the last 4 or 5 years, they are not reaching that point. I mean, Joao Felix, which I used to support a lot because I'm Atletico fan, but he's not reaching there. Ansu Fati, Pedri, all those players that they were expected to be the next big thing, they're not reaching there. And especially Spain, I think it has a really tough group. As Glenn said, nobody gives anything for Italy, but it's always there. And the group of Spain with Croatia and Italy is going to be quite complicated. I think actually an interesting bet would be Spain not qualifying for the next round, which probably will have very, very good odds. And I think it's quite plausible if they just don't win Croatia, they would be already in trouble. And if I had to bet on any of the top five, on any of the non-top five favorites, I would go with Belgium. I mean, I've been supporting Belgium in the 4 or 5 last Euros, I thought that they had a generation that they could make a great thing, and they never succeeded. And I think this is the very last chance of this generation of players like Courtois, Kevin De Bruyne. So I would say that as a non-favorite, I would bet on Belgium. And one of my underdogs that I would put a bit of money to reach at these quarterfinals, I think it's going to be Hungary. I think Hungary is going to be the surprise on this Euro.
Thank you, Txema. I can't know which team will win the tournament, but I'd like to announce the lucky winner of today's webinar, who is going to have an SEO from us. So it's going to be Lucy from 888 William Hill. Lucy, congratulations. Our team will reach out to you, and we will guide you for the next steps, and we will deliver your audit. Wow, gentlemen, what a session. A huge thank you to Glenn Debattista and Txema Hermoso for sharing their awesome insights on making the most out of Euro 2024 for iGaming brands. And of course, a big thanks to all of you joining us today. Definitely remember, Euro 2024 is a golden opportunity to boost your brand's visibility and engagement. Let's put these strategies into action and make it a winning season for you. Right now, we can move forward with the Q&A session. So I already see a couple of questions. I would appreciate, gentlemen, if we can go a little bit brief with the answers, since we are already exceeding our time for today. So the first question I've got is, Txema, I think you're the expert that can really answer this question. Is it too late to write some SEO optimized content for the iGaming websites for Euro 2024?
Okay, I think it's not too late. It depends on the content. I think it's very late if you are starting to plan your SEO strategy now. But if you already have a plan, if you already have a set of pages dedicated to the Euros, to the group phase, it's quite important that you keep writing content about, as Glenn mentioned before, match previews. There are many aspects that cannot be analyzed until this point. So it's quite normal that content comes in a week, in 2 weeks, because yet not all the teams are defined. We don't know if a player was injured or not. So I think, there's still room for content. And actually, if you want to succeed with your panel pages, I always recommend to keep growing your site section about the Euro 2024.
Actually, there's a question on our chat box here, and our viewer asked, when should we start investing in SEO before Euro 2024, in an ideal case, of course. And this was a repeating question, if it is too late. So I think you partly answered this question. Do you have anything else to add on top of this, maybe?
I mean, ideally, when these type of events come up front, I would prepare them with 6 months in advance. Create a whole strategy, create an architecture for the whole event. Don't wait until 1 month or 2 months before to create this strategy. If you have an SEO team, talk to them, advise them. Me personally, my strategies for Euro 2024 are already completed. And what I'm working now, it's on the next big thing, which is the Clubs World Cup happening on 2025. So 1 year ahead, I'm already thinking, how am I going to build all this architecture and all this huge tree of knowledge about the Club World Cup 2025?
I completely agree with Txema there, because from my experience, we've had, when we always did 6 to 8 months from beforehand the content. And the secret is, yes, you prepare the content 6 months ahead, and then you update it on a monthly basis based on those some latest information news. So even Google sees that you're refreshing the information regularly, and that will help once obviously the tournament starts.
Absolutely. We have got a question from our social media, and it is like, what is the correlation between Euro 2024 and the typical online casino websites? because some of them, they don't have sports betting sections, as you know. Do you have any suggestions for the casinos with only casino option without sports betting options?
Yes. What helps in this case is obviously taking advantage of the situation, like just to have for Christmas or for Halloween, and have themed casino games, based on football, for example. Something to get the people in the mood, especially if you don't have a sports betting website to go along with it. One thing that's very important, maybe that we didn't mention before, is the cross-selling. A lot of the casual new users who come to sports books, to be able to bet just for fun or to support the national team, they might be enticed, by the whole casino experience. So cross-selling to these new users is a really big thing and very important for an operator to do, because they might not like sports, but they actually might like casino games.
Definitely. We have got a question from our chat actually. How can we leverage real-time marketing during live matches? What tools and platforms would you recommend? Who would like to take it?
Txema.
I mean, we were talking before about customer engagement, and we were talking also about people being busy during the matches, etc. So I think that during live betting, doing some customer engagement, it's quite helpful. If you have a chat where they can ask you questions straight away, if you have, as I said, push notifications that they can tell you this match, it's going like this. Someone scored, someone got a red card. Would you like to cash out? Would you like to bet on this team? That can be helpful, and it could be another thing that through AI we can automate and again give a personalized experience to every user.
Glenn, do you have anything else to add on top of this, or can I move to the next and the last question?
No, I mean what Txema said is perfectly right. I mean, there's not much you can add, but yes, I mean during live matches, the people are concentrating on the game. So they're just looking at the odds and also
Yeah.
focusing on the match. So not much else to do there.
Absolutely. And our last question: if we were to only invest in one area of marketing before Euro, what would you pick and why? Challenging question.
So, and this obviously is different for both operators and affiliates. Affiliates, obviously, they need to focus on content. It's all about content. In the 6 months leading up to the actual event. From an operator point of view, yes, like we said, I mean, for them, it's all about what markets they're offering, the betting promotions, the bonuses, the offers they're doing. So it's more on that actual side. Whereas for the affiliates, they can actually, to help also the operators themselves, they can actually write about the bonuses, promotions, and offers, how they work, and so on. So sort of give more and highlight more, these kind of marketing that the operators are doing.
Txema, do you have anything else to add? I know the answer. Probably you'll say SEO.
Yeah, I mean, always, for me, SEO is first. I would say if you are considering investing now, don't think about SEO. You should have thought this 6 months ago. Now it's better go with PPC and obtain some quick results, because if you want an SEO strategy, you need to think a bit more long term.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And this concludes today's Q&A session, gentlemen. Once again, thank you, Glenn and Txema, for today's session. Before we call it a day, I was wondering if you have anything to add or any suggestions to give to our viewers from operators or affiliates.
No, first of all, thank you, Faruk, and thank you, Txema, for this great fireside chat that we had. I would like, obviously, to wish everyone a really successful Euro 2024 from both a professional point of view and a personal point of view, because it's going to be big. It's going to be massive, and it's going to definitely bring a lot of opportunities for individuals and companies alike.
Okay, me, I would say that I'm very excited about the Euros myself as a user, but also very excited to see that all these strategies that we've been covering and we've been implementing in our many different clients, to see the outcome. I am pretty sure, well, I am, I think that they're going to be very, very successful. However, I'm also excited to see what the rest of the gambling industry can bring. I'm sure that there will be a lot of creativity all across the gambling industry. And I'm curious and anxious to see what are the new things that people apart from us will bring to the table and learn from that to implement in the next big thing.
Thank you, gentlemen, and also thanks a million for all of our viewers today for joining us. I hope you all have at least one thing to implement when you're back at your desk today. And please follow us on our social media, follow our next webinars for more insights, not only for the upcoming tournament, but also about SEO, content marketing, link building, and many other digital marketing aspects. So I would like to wish everyone a fantastic day and a great weekend. Thank you for joining us.